watching a master at work.
Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to replace the 06 to 11 Civic, SI, DX, CX, all that stuff, strut tops. These are recalled by Honda. They've been recalled by Honda for a while, and when you drive and hit a bump, you'll hear a bunch of squeaks and stuff, and it'll progressively get worse and sound like a dying cat or whatever. So in here, there's actually these little ball bearings, and these explode because of the stuff, and this hole right here gets wallowed out by the strut. So I'm going to show you how to take these off and put them on without having to pay someone to do them because it's expensive. Okay, so what you're going to need is a McPherson strut compressing tool to get the top hat off without killing yourself. You're going to need the strut top. I got these on I think it was 2 or 3A auto or 4A auto, whatever, on eBay for like $30 for both of them shipped. 17 and a 14 wrench, and then half socket. So what you're going to do is get a flathead, pop this cover off for the windshield wiper in order to access one of the bolts for the strut tops. That's a 17, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So another thing you want to do is just pop this little plastic piece out. It just comes out with little flicks. Then you have access to the back tube. Let's see if I can get a good angle here. There we go. So that back bolt is the one you get up through here. You pop this little cover off underneath the windshield wiper. These front two you can get with a 14. Just be careful. Either use some type of magnet or something like that. Alright, so pretty much what you want to do is you want to use the weight of the vehicle, so it's on the ground right now, to keep tension off of these bolts so they're easier to loosen. And then what I do is I take off my glove and I take this back bolt off with my finger because the front two are easier to access. So you do that, then you lift up the car, and then you undo the strut from the actual assembly. Alright, so now we're going to jack up the car. Alright, so what you're going to do after that is inspect for damage or anything. Careful with this because this is the ABS sensor. So when you take this off, you need these two, I think it's a 19 bolt head, or a 19 nut and a 17 bolt head. And this is a 12 mil. And then the whole strut should come out. Make sure you get the top bolt out. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have some form of leverage if you do not have power tools. So I used a 19 mil wrench and a 17 half socket and ratchet to get these bolts out. Whatever you do, take it from my experience, do not buy this 19.2 Craftsman, what the hell is this thing? Yeah, whatever, this thing sucks. The NiCad battery, the freaking lithium battery, they suck. Don't use it. I couldn't even take off the wheel with this, so I'm just using manual tools. So if you're looking into anything, get a Milwaukee, but all you have to do is take those off. Make sure the sensor's free and the brake line's free. Make sure when you're prying that your brake dust shield doesn't touch like this one is. I'm going to bend it back into place when I put this back together, but for now I'm going to take out the strut. So this is how you do that. Just like that. So just make sure you got it down carefully so it doesn't rip stuff apart and all that fun stuff. So, and then there you go, it's out. So some of you buy Raceline coilovers or whatever, they will come with the whole bottom assembly, but they will not come with the top hat. But I don't really want coilovers. This is daily, so I like these SLGs from KYB. They're pretty dope. So let's see how bad this one is. Ooh, this one's actually not too bad. It's still making a little bit of noise, but this hole hasn't wallowed out yet, so that's good. It's a lot harder to get off when it wallows. So I'm going to show you how to take this off. You just get the 17 and hold it, and this rod likes to spin, so you have to figure out how to maintain holding that. And the spring isolator, you reuse this rubber piece. You reuse that because that kind of quiets the spring compression and stuff like that. So here we go. Alright, so I took this off. You see how it's seated into the spring isolator, and this little thing wraps around the top coil of the spring. So when you put that back on, just kind of twist it like that onto there and then you'll be good. So now what you have to do is separate this. And this stuff is really old and dirty, so you may have to use a flathead, or let me see if I can get it with my fingers here. Might be able to get it off with my fingers. Oh. There we go. So that's that. And here's the ball bearings that explode. These ones haven't exploded yet, but you see the wear right there. It wiggling around, and you can kind of see the hole. How the hole's like, yeah, you see it? See the indentation right there? It was just starting to wallow too. So that's bad. And they recalled these. My Civic has 106,000 miles. So this is how you change them. You throw this away, go over here and get the new one. Come with the supplied bolts. And what you want to do is just take this and kind of just do this, you know? Just kind of put it back into the little slot here. It's going to be kind of a pain. And these aren't site specific, they're the same, so. And you take this and put it back on top of it. Spring thing here. I'll just drop it down into the slot over the top here. Let's slide it around on the isolator there, like that. That's good. And then this is where the spring compressor comes in, so I'm going to be back. Alright, so you put the spring compressor on the top and the bottom, and you put the little isolators in to keep it safe, and then you get a 19 mil and you compress it so you have enough rod length to tighten the new top pad on. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera down here. Sorry, kind of iffy here, but only got one camera, guys. So yeah, you just take this, compress it down. Make sure you get this new one. Slide it over the top here. Use the old nut. It's a 17. Hand thread it on there, and what I like to do is hand tighten it. Because you prevent stripped threads if you hand tighten it. I mean, power tools are cool and all, but just like causes problems sometimes when you don't need them. It just causes more problems than it's worth. And me specifically, it would help me because I have arthritis, but this stuff is a lot more, I don't know, it's feel too. I don't know, it just feels better. So I'm going to swap to this actually and just tighten it on here with the stupid Craftsman thing. Tighten this on as much as you can here. Okay, looks okay. Now what we're going to do is loosen the spring compressor. It's kind of a pain in the ass here. This is the fun part because sometimes it gets you jammed like it did here. So I might actually have to use a wrench to get this thing off here. Make sure you watch your fingers too. It will hurt if you get freaking plopped with this thing. Okay, so this is what it should look like when you're done. Isolator's even. It's all back together. Everything's set up. Make sure the bolt hole's good. Make sure you take these nuts off when you slide it back in here. Just slide it back in here like this. Get one of these nuts. I like to take my glove off. Better get a better feel with your bare hand versus a glove. You get dirty, but whatever, it's worth it to just feel better. Kinda got it. So you got it up, put the bolts back on, then bolt all this stuff back up. Alright, so make sure when you're putting the strut back on, when you put the bolt through, you put it back through the same way. And then when you do that, you may have to come under here and kind of wiggle it up a little bit with your knee. And these have offset in them. So what you have to do is kind of pull straight when you tighten them, because if you don't, that will give you camber. Because for some reason these have wall of holes in them. So S13 240SXs are the same way. When you tighten the knuckle onto the strut or your coilover, whatever you have, you got to pull towards you to maintain that curve, so there isn't camber added into your standard alignment. Depending on what the condition of your strut is, you can check it while it's off the car, see if it's blown. If the rod does not return on your strut, you can push it down and it stays down, that means it's blown. So you have to replace those. This one was good. So I'm just going to put this back together and should be good to go, hopefully. That spring compressor you can run at any O'Reilly or AutoZone or whatever. Just kind of tighten this back up, make sure everything's good. So then you put all your stuff away, get it on the ground and take it for a test drive. So it's all done. So let me know what you guys think of this video, if you like more how-tos or, you know, random stuff that isn't always related to drifting. Like I said, it's the off season, so it's kind of hard to get stuff, you know, videoed and all that. So, but that's that. That's the Civic. I'm going to be getting my truck back next week from the transmission shop. It's getting built. So I'll do a video on that, and then hopefully looking into buying another trailer for drift season coming up. But thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, tell your friends, drop a comment below on what you think I should see next. Thanks.